Good day, everybody. Welcome to a new edition of the Wallace Way. We have a special, esteemed guest today. A brother that I've known pretty much my whole life. This is Mr. Denarian McCants. Now, let me run down his extensive resume. Mr. McCants was a 2001 fifth-round draft pick for the Washington football team. Back then, it was the Redskins Cardinals. He's part of Dell State's Hall of Fame as he set Dell State MEAC single season touchdown record with 18. Mr. McCants, how are we doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing well in yourself.
I'm doing pretty good, brother. Thank you so much for taking time out your busy day. This brother also runs a fitness company. This brother also coaches. This brother also teaches. Basically, this brother does it all. He's a powerful brother, and we're just honored and blessed to have him on the show tonight. So, Mr. McCants, I wanted to get you on the show tonight to talk about the recent news of the HBCU combine with there you go. There you go. Dell State Hornets representing all day. I wanted to talk about the HBCU combine. In last week with the NFL draft, no HBCU players were drafted. This is actually the ninth time since 2000 that this has happened. What a lot of people don't understand is 10% of the Pro Football Hall of Fame is HBCU. It's an insane pipeline of talent. And
10%? I thought it was more than that, but okay. I guess it's been so long. Okay, but go ahead.
yeah, but I mean, that's an insane amount when you really think about the number of draft picks that is. That 10% of the Pro Football Hall of Fame from the HBCUs. But like I said, just recently, the last since 2009 times, no HBCU grads were drafted, including last week. Let's talk about what's going on with the HBCU and the NFL draft and all that stuff.
Well, then once again, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it, right? So the history of the reason why so many HBCU alumni are in the Hall of Fame is because black people weren't allowed to go to school with white people.
Mm,
So eventually they realized that, hey, these Negroes are bigger, faster, and stronger than the guys we got. So eventually, instead of keeping them out, when they let them in, then they was like, hey, how do we get more of these Jim Browns in our school?
hmm hmm
And then they started buying them. They started paying for them. So now what they did was take the biggest asset out of the HBCU, which was the athlete, and
hmm
now they give money to the PWIs, and they make billions of dollars for them each year.
Okay. All right. So a couple of things I want to touch on that last statement you made. The HBCU Combine. Now, I know it was canceled last year due to COVID. What are your thoughts on that, and what exactly is that? I never heard that before.
It's some other fluff to say they're giving HBCUs a chance. It's
Mm,
like even with the combine, how many guys from the combine actually get drafted?
I think it
You
was
already know who's about to get drafted 9 times out of 10, especially first round.
yeah, I think it was 40 people were invited. So you calling it fluff? Like, question: is it needed still, or why aren't they invited to the NFL Combine in Indianapolis?
Is it needed? Like I said, it's fluff. It's to say, hey, we're doing something for black people. Hey, we're doing something for the HBCU. See, look what we're doing. It's fluff. Like everything, build a program and say that we're doing something and never ever use it. They might grab a guy every now and again, but yeah, why wouldn't they go to the regular combine? That's a
Okay.
question for the people who run the programs. I don't know why. If you're the best athlete in each category, why wouldn't you go? Because, like I said, the major difference really is from tackle to tackle. When you
Okay.
get a guy that's 6'6", 300 pounds, and that can run a 4.5, yeah, you're not gonna find too many of them at HBCUs because guess what? The PWI is gonna get to them first. It's
Sure.
gonna
Sure.
be very rare that a kid, that especially nowadays with the sensationalism of everything, that a kid's gonna want to go to HBCU because of the money. You know what I mean? If it ain't because of tradition or their family or something like that, or they just want to be around some black folks for the culture, I'm going to a PWI when I see a daggone Nebraska weight room, when I see Clemson's weight room, when I see facilities at Florida. Are you serious? And then I go to a HBCU. But like I said, they plucked all the assets out of it. HBCU didn't protect them. So you allowed your athletes to leave. So this is the result you get.
That's a fascinating point. You never really hear it like that, and that's why I wanted to ask you to come on the show because you're the best of the best in the HBCU. You're all timer. You know what I'm saying, leading touchdown maker at Dell State. So I wanted to come at you like that, and it's interesting your perspective and angle. Now let me ask you this. Now I know when you got drafted 2001 feels probably like 80 years ago, but was being from an HBCU, how was your entry into the NFL? Like, was it a massive? Was the talent so much different that you was like, damn, or was it like, yeah, I could ball in here too? Because we do know you had what 8 touchdowns in 2001, 2002, so you were doing your thing.
Well, I led the team in 2003 touchdowns. It was only six, but I had a total of eight. But
Mhm.
we can go into the politics of that as well. But the reality, like I said, the major difference was tackle to tackle. I had never seen a man large as Chris Samuels move the way he could. I'd never seen a man like Danny Wilkerson move the way he did. But on the other side of me was Champ Bailey. I seen body types like Champ Bailey. I can't say I seen Champ Bailey because that was a special dude.
It's a Hall of
But it
Famer.
was body types 5'10", 180 pounds. I seen them week in and week out. You talking about Bethune Cookman, FAMU? They had guys just as fast, just as aggressive, but they were never given opportunities. But how I felt when I got in, I felt nobody had my back, and I didn't know any. When I got there, I was banking on my signing bonus so I could be a teacher because I didn't think they were going to keep me. Reason I started balling is because Coach Schottenheimer was a real man. Coach Schottenheimer could see I was bull job. So after the second game, he grabbed me. He was like, "Hey D Mac, I love your work ethic, and I didn't pick you up because you're a good wide receiver. I picked you up because when you walked through that door, you had a black suit on with a red tie.
Mm,
I picked you up because of your character. I could have picked up a receiver. Son, if you don't let your balls drop, I'm gonna have to cut you." And then I started balling because I knew somebody was here that's going to take care of me. You know what I mean? Or at least look out
right.
for me because, like I said, in that locker room, it might have been one or two other guys. I think G Scott was there from either South Carolina or North Carolina, one of those schools. But
Mhm.
it might have been a total, and I think a kid from Fam made it too. It might have been a total of three of us, and then you got Florida, Clemson, Syracuse, Miami, you know what I mean, Nebraska, and
Bama,
then of
right.
course everybody at the top, the president, the CEO, Coach Schottenheimer was a pick guy, so a pin guy. So everybody is from the PWIs, and then you have three HBCUs. Who has our back? Nobody's fighting for us. Nobody, if something happens to us, is going to be like, no, that's my guy. Because everybody knows it's about to connect. I had a guy straight up. The dude told me the only reason he was in camp is because they owed his agent a favor. He sucked. He was absolutely terrible. It was a kid they brought in from Boston. He was balling, and they wouldn't put him on the field during preseason. So he was like, dog, they're not going to let me play here. So he quit.
Wow. Politics as usual, huh?
Well, it's the connect, it's the connectivity. It's the same reason why a lot of black athletes have never had black agents. Because guess what?
Mm,
The black agents don't go to bar mitzvahs. They don't get invited to the golf course. But all the white
mm.
agents do. It's changing now, but
Sure,
now
right.
we're also just now first time in history ever having top five black quarterbacks.
Yeah. No, I never thought of it like that.
No,
That's
the
a
NFL is the NFL protects its shield. The NFL is about the NFL. It is still $1 million slave trade.
yeah. There's no doubt about it, and it's funny you say that. You was talking about you didn't have the proper backing, and that's I want to kind of segue into Deion Sanders. Of course, we know prime time. We all grew up in prime time. What's your take on him and his kind of crusade for really putting HBCUs to the forefront, taking a job at Jackson State? They're on TV a lot. I know I saw Dell State was on TV versus Delaware, and I hit you up to tell you What's your take on Deion Sanders and that whole thing?
My take is they need to move out his way and let him go show and let him show them where the money's located.
Mm,
Because it's a money business. America is capitalistic. Deion Sanders from the beginning was. He created an ideal called prime time because he knew if he was prime time, regardless of his play, if he played the same way and was quiet, he doesn't get the same recognition and he doesn't make the same amount of money. The world wants to be entertained, and he gave them exactly what he was looking for, and he made millions of dollars off of it. So all you
no
have to
doubt.
do is move out of Coach Prime's way and let him do his thing. Now it's going to be a lot harder because you have a lot of dinosaurs in the HBCU. Bills, but oh, we can't do that. The tradition, they haven't made any progress to try to get 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star athletes because they don't want them. Because if you wanted something, you would do it. You would make moves to try to get them. And you see, I think I seen one thing. It was funny because he was like, "I'm looking for some horses," and he was standing in the stable. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Right, right,
He
right.
needs some dog. He needs some horses in order to win. But unfortunately, like I said, what is the draw? What is the draw to black college guys? Hey, I'm going to a black college. Until you show me what is comparable to even a small PWI. Because if we go to Delaware State and we go up the street 45 minutes to UD,
Mm-hmm.
they two different worlds. The endowment plan is different. UD has a $1 billion endowment.
Right,
Delaware
right.
State might got 30, 40 million, maybe. So until the
Mm.
money is comparable, it doesn't even matter. It's not going to be competitive because, like I said, why am I going to leave all this luxury, all this access, and I get to play football on TV to go play the HBCU?
Yeah, man, you're bringing up some crazy, crazy points that really don't get brought up because what I think is, why HBCUs is.
I'm not getting a check from nobody. Ain't nobody paying me nothing. I'm telling the truth. Like I said, the people on TV get a check, so they got to watch what they say. They know what it is.
I agree with that. I agree with that, and that's we got to get to the point where the new powerful young voices such as yourself are on that level of spreading the gospel of HBCUs athletics, because I just don't doubt that there was plenty of talent in this year's HBCU crop that could have definitely been drafted. I don't doubt
Of
that.
course,
Yeah, like I don't.
bro.
I
It
seriously
has
don't doubt
nothing to
that.
do. It has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with leadership. The MEAC, the SWAC, the CIAA, SIAA, all the
Mm,
historically black backing colleges or leaders, they sitting on their hands. They dinosaurs. Like I said, what are you doing? It's $1 billion business. So the NCAA is 60 to 75% of black males.
right,
So
right.
where is that money going? 80% of the NBA are black males. Where's that money going? 60 to 70% of the NFL are black males. All of those three entities are $1 billion businesses. But
Multi-billion.
HBCUs have said, no, we don't want to put our money into building better facilities for athletes so we can draw the athlete. We want to put our money wherever they put it. And then they come and beg the alumni, hey, give us money. Please give us money. Why don't you give us money? You went here. And then the alumni like, do you understand my experience?
Mm,
You see what I'm
mm.
saying? So when I left Dell State, I left with a bitter taste in my mouth now. It wasn't
Why is
nothing
that?
sweet
Why is that?
because the perspective. So, like I said, when you go through something and you leave with a bitter taste, how things are run, the lack
Mm,
thereof. You know what I mean? Because some people coming from the suburbs and then they go into the hood. And it's like, hold up. But then, like I said, then you have the culture. Then you have the camaraderie. Because I guarantee you, when you go to a black college homecoming, it's like a family reunion.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not even a question like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister. You know what I mean? Like the whole feel is completely different than when you go to a PWI. Unless you're looking for that in culture,
Mm,
which I can say personally was because I grew up in Howard County, 93% white folks. So
mm-hmm.
now I go for 4 years into a black college. Oh, I fell in love. I've never felt like that. Like I said, I still call them jokers up now. That's my brothers. I do business with them.
It's all
You see
love,
what I'm
right?
saying? Right. But the thing about it, what's missing is the money. What's missing is the leadership. What's
Mm.
missing is people in roles that say, okay, this is where we want the money to go. This is going to make our college look like this. But you talk about $3 billion industries that the black college that are ran by black boys. That industries are ran by black boys. If you take black boys off of TV right now, what you watching?
Maybe Seinfeld. No, I'm joking.
Because you're not gonna watch the NCAA tournament.
Nope, nope.
You're not
Not
gonna watch
NFL.
the Sugar Bowl.
Not
You're
NBA.
not gonna watch the NBA championship.
Nope.
You're not gonna watch the NFL championship. So how are we not tapping in to these $1 billion industries? We're saying, okay, guess what? If I get them to come to my school, I'll brainwash them enough to make sure when they go to the NBA, NFL, that they putting back money into the university. And then
Mm.
it even the playing field out. Because then when you see, oh, well, Darnell McCants went there, Rob Milstead went there, John Taylor went there. Oh, that's a school I want
Walter
to go to.
Payton. Yeah. Well, I'm saying you're talking Dell State, but in
I'm
general,
talking Dell
HBCUs.
State, baby.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Just in general. Now,
yeah. Jackson State, Southern.
what's his
You
name?
see what I'm saying? Like
Shannon
when you
Sharp.
start seeing that, that's why people that was the draw at first. Yeah, shit, dog. You can go through a whole list of them.
Some of the greatest players
You
ever have
right.
came to HBCUs. It's now. Let me ask you this: moving forward, let's say 5, 10 years from now, where do you see this going? Like, do you see it getting better? Are there steps getting better? Are because HBCUs right now, as far as a cachet in the media, is kind of popular. You agree with that? Like it's way more popular than when we were
Now
growing up.
you asking the two part. So the first part is where do I see it going
Yeah, where do you
personally?
see it going in 10 years as far as
They're
uh, the
they're
the
they're they're killing HBCUs because of diversity. So with diversity, that means I'm looking to take once again and pick out all the black people and put them into my school. Being said, that means now what you call gentrification. Now the white people are saying, hey, these HBCUs cost less. You're going to go there and get education. You're going to go there and get a minority scholarship.
mm,
So now the diversity, now the diversity dilutes that whole situation, right?
so in a way you're
So where
saying
do I
that
see black college? I'll say black colleges. We're down to 99. We're down to 99 in the whole country. At one point in time, it was 300, if not more, HBCUs. We're down to 99. So what do you think is going to happen to an industry that's not promoting athletics, where $3 billion industries run and make $1 billion off these black boys? I don't see the MEAC lasting or HBCU lasting for us athletically another 10, 15, 20 years. I personally don't see it unless it's some drastic changes where they get some real money.
wow, I have not heard that. No one has had the boldness to say that. You just simply don't see it. Just it'll just be diluted so much
Just
that
look at the stats. Look at the stats.
wow. I've never that's a very interesting take, man. Very interesting take. Not from 300 down to 99.
Yeah, and like I said, that was just if you look at where they're losing the accreditation because they have no money. So
Yeah,
why am I going to go to a university that I can't? That's not accredible. That's
yeah.
not
That's
accredited.
no one would do
I'm
that.
going to
No.
go to that small PWI that's in my neighborhood.
Wow.
No, I'm going to go local. I'm gonna go to a small university. Most likely that PWI is gonna have better facilities. Like when I went to
Hmm.
Salisbury University,
Yep.
they had at this point in time they had an AstroTurf baseball field. They had a grass baseball field. They had a football stadium. They had a track stadium, and then they had a track. This is at a Division III
I'm about to
university.
say, right.
You see what I'm saying? And I was being recruited by them. I just didn't understand the system at the time because we're all, oh, you got to go to Division 1. You should be a Division 1. You're a Division 1 athlete. And I wasn't looking at the education. I was just looking at I could ball. And then to the most part, I didn't care where I ball. I just needed the money, but I didn't understand the process. Normalizing Division two and Division three needs to be normalized because 99.9% of most athletes are to Division two and Division three athletes.
Hmm.
It's a small percentage that actually Division one, top notch, grade A, star five athletes that should be able to compete at the highest level. And yes, some of them fall into HBCUs because yes, I was a walk on. But did I know I was a professional athlete? No. I just worked hard and wanted to be the best at it. And then some of the stories that y'all tell me, I ain't know half the stuff I was doing in the first place. I was going crazy. I was
So
doing
when
some
you
crazy stuff.
when did you know that you were pro material? Like he was like, okay, I can make it to the NFL. Like I have a future in the NFL.
I didn't. It was like I said, my whole deal was I just played hard. I just wanted to go hard. I just wanted to compete. So NFL really wasn't like other people had said it around me. It wasn't a thing to me. But you never heard me talk about it. I never talked about, yeah, I'm going to the league. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I just wanted to play ball. I just wanted to compete long as I could. And then, like I said, the reason I probably didn't play long because my mind changed. After 25, I started thinking, and I'm like, okay, it's about business. I wish I would have understood more of the business sooner. Then maybe possibly I play long, bearing I don't get an
Right,
injury.
right, right. Nah, that's interesting. It's interesting. Always been a humble brother, man. Always been a humble brother, man. That you've laid down some pretty like heavy jewels as far as the future of HBCU from today moving forward. Um, if you could snap your fingers and you could do one thing that really gets the HBCUs back on track and the vision of what you wanted to do, what would it be? If you could just snap your fingers.
Like I say, we got to get the money, get the athletes, put in the facilities to get the athletes. You get the athletes. I would say a TV contract, but nowadays you don't even need that. You can do streams and get your own money.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying? All they got to do is get a good setup, get a good system because most black colleges have communication departments. So all you do is get the communication department, set up a live stream, daggone, and have people pay for it. That's revenue in the bank. Like they're not looking for the simplest ways that how all these kids make money at 15 and 16 years old, but yet you're a multi-million dollar industry because you're asking people to come to your university and you're asking them to pay thousands of dollars. Tuition is 30, $40,000. And you tell me you can't get the football team on TV? Okay, we can't get a local TV contract for
Right.
real, where you can get ad money of all, especially Route 13. Route 13 got $1 billion business up and down Route 13, and you mean to tell me they can't put money in university? That's for me. That's business 101. I'm going everybody within a local range. You need to put money into this university, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because guess what? Majority of these kids will be working in up and down Route 13. Your employees are at my university.
It's yeah. You definitely open up some doors. Like I said, I don't think this. I think right now HBCU is very topical as far as the media is covering it, and it's like it's just a very topical level. What you're doing is peeling back the onion and really telling people
Well,
what's going
it's
on. And
it's
like,
come on now. It's the 60s all over again. All they doing is feel good bull job, and black people buying it. Oh, this feels good. Let's give some money to the HBCUs. It's not a fix until you start changing policies and laws. It's not a fix because even if you put me as the president of the university, I can only do but so much if information and policies are already set. I can't change it. The people have to change it. There has to be a want to in leadership to say, okay, this is what I'm putting out. This is what has to change. We're going to do this because this is generating this much revenue. Because at the end of the day, it's capitalism 101. How much money can we get? The more money we get, the more attractive we look, the more things we can do, because that's what money brings in America. The reason people go to Alabama, the reason people go to Florida, not because it's small and rinky dink and worn down.
no, not at all, not at all. It's interesting. But like I said, thank you so much, man, for kind of dropping that. Now, oh, before we go, did you see that Eddie George is going to be the head coach at Tennessee State? What's your take on like a lot of these old former NFL legends coming back to coaching HBCUs?
I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Because the other side would be is that unfortunately a lot of people use the HBCUs as a springboard to get into the bigger schools. So we may have one or two good coaches, and soon as the PWIs hear about them, hey, come get them. They plucking all the best athletes. Same thing they did with the what was the guy BCU basketball who won a whole bunch of championships. Oh
Shaka
man, you
Smart.
know who I'm talking about,
Shaka Smart.
right?
Yeah. He went from
Right.
VCU to
I'm
Texas.
coming to get your best.
Right. No,
Right. I'm coming to get your best. Whoever's the best at HBCU, I'm coming to get you. And I'm gonna take you out because guess what? I'm gonna be able to give you money that HBCUs can't. So now the best part is if we did get more professional athletes who are financially set and not necessarily looking for the bag and actually looking to reprogram real football players. Because you like I said, you're getting a lot of guys who coulda, woulda, shoulda, may never had the grades. You know what I mean? Walk-ons like myself who didn't really know what the hell was going on in high school. You know, you get a lot of different stories of why people have fallen into black college versus, oh, well, I'm going to black college because,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like everybody got a story, man, I should have went to University of Maryland, man. But
Everybody
you see what
got
I'm
a
saying?
story.
Instead of saying no, I'm going to Delaware State because I
Same thing
want to
with
go to Delaware
pride.
State.
Exactly. Same thing
You
with
see what I'm
pride.
saying? So and going back to how, like I said, when I left with a bitter taste, and then eventually, like I said, when I start to think as a man, why am I going to leave my people in a position like that? You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'm in a position to make change. So then I started my endowment. And then eventually, guess what? People with real money and more money than me playing football started investing into the university. The
Mm.
endowments went up. People started dropping, and I'm not saying I'm the only, I just started I put that drop in the water to create that ripple. You see what I'm saying? I started showing off, started showing pride in my university. Like, no, if this is us, how do we get better? My ultimate goal was to be able to compete. Once I can compete all HBCUs can compete with those smaller universities, PWIs, then we've come into a place where now the playing field is even. Instead of, oh, I'm gonna go to UD now, hey, cuz I'm gonna go down Delaware State. Because guess where most of the black kids from UD go? When they come to party, they come to our school. When they looking for black women, they come to our school. So they coming down there for a reason, but they don't want to go to school there. Why
Mm.
is that? You see what I'm saying? Oh, I want to leave the state. They have all these little reasons that have nothing to do with anything.
Mm.
If you're going to the university, why are you going there? You see what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I always boost Delaware State. So
Oh,
I've gotten
you.
several kids in the Delaware State. Or I say I encouraged. I ain't get them in. So we don't get no NCAA. But I encourage, I encourage
We got
kids to go there all the time
we got a
that actually
booster,
made
y'all.
teams and got into the university.
Nah.
Right. I ain't got no more money. I'm broke.
Bro, nah, you definitely
I'm strictly a teacher.
you definitely have and one of the things I admire about you is you put your money where your mouth is, and more importantly, you put your effort and your energy where your mouth is. And a lot of people don't do that. They actually they rather put their money instead of their effort and energy where their mouth is. And you love Dell State. You bleed it, you rep it, and you really just want to see the HBCUs thrive and do their thing. And I think it's very important that the HBCUs find brothers like you who are some of the greatest players ever, NFL people, so have reached the highest level.
For me, I can't hear nothing you saying.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Like you started buffering. So that whatever you just said, I heard none of that.
Well, I was just saying you you
I
you
can hear
put
you
your
now, but whatever you just said, that last statement, it was all digitized.
yeah, it's been buffering a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's just so busy tonight. But what I'm saying was you put your effort or your energy where your mouth is, and you really want to see Dell State and HBCUs win. You hear me now?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, it's
Okay.
like I said, everything I said, no matter how it might be slanted, might have came out, it's all love. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, only way we gonna change stuff is if we change it. If we keep waiting on other people to change stuff for us, when does that ever happen? We keep waiting for a Saber, we're waiting for Superman. When does that ever happen? It's never happened. Only
Never.
time something changes when we change it. So guess what? If I gotta challenge these presidents, these CEOs or whatever who run the MEAC and SWAC, you're damn right I'm a challenger. What are you doing to bring in some billions of dollars? And I don't mean no $1 million for the whole MEAC. I'm talking about billions. Why don't we have a bowl? Because the year we actually had a winning season, they didn't have the Heritage Bowl. So I never got a chance to see if I could play with the best. You see what I'm saying? At that level. You see what I'm saying? Like everything happened to me was great, but it's now it's I could say it's some questions like why wasn't where is the money to do these bowls? Why isn't anybody sponsoring these? Why don't other businesses do business with black colleges? Because that's all it comes down to. If your business don't want to work with my business, then we don't do anything. Why aren't the SWAC and the MEAC tied together somehow? Why aren't the black colleges combining to put their money together? Now, like I said, I'm speaking of outside looking in. I don't know how it works, but I know business when I see business 101. You see what I'm
Well, how
saying? All this black college, make it grow.
how do you get in? How do we put you into like that room? How do we put you into that room to
I don't
figure
know,
all
but
this
they
stuff
ain't gonna
out?
like what I got to say.
You can't be going in there all Tupac-ish, man. You gotta kind of finesse them a little bit because they older. They got
Hey,
their
Tupac
ego.
said bomb first, baby. It's not even an ego thing. Forget the ego. That's what I'm saying. Like, forget the ego. Let's look at 100 years from now. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're technically killing me. That's how I see it. Because once HBCUs are gone, so is my legacy. So is everybody's legacy who built it. You see what I'm saying? Like all the historical facts that go around in America is not even considered American. It's Black American. And then it's put to the side. Black America's the side chick. You see what I'm saying? So maybe by the time I'm 60, if black colleges are gone, oh, yeah, I went to that school once upon a time. Delaware State was a HBCU. All that information's gone.
Yeah.
You see what
So
they do with history, the colonization of history. Black people aren't even in history of how they built this country. You don't even learn about black people in the country, which black people built in your everyday standardized learning. You still learn about Europe,
man,
but yet black people built this country and don't even make it to history books besides being, oh, you was a slave. That's it. That's all you was good for, nigga.
well,
You was a slave.
it starts with slavery and ends with Martin Luther King. Like that's the scope of
That's it.
that history.
So once you eliminate HBCUs, the history of that culture is gone. And I don't know if it's a fear or anger. I don't know what it is. But I'm like, why are you trying to erase me? That's my question. What did I do to you for you to try to erase me?
Mhm. Bro, you done dropped a lot of jewels tonight, man. I want to thank you so much. I know you're long days, busy days. So thank you so much. Do you want to plug anything right now?
Definitely my foundation, Finding Me Foundation. It's about literacy. Now, with literacy, I am not fighting for everybody to read. I'm fighting delinquency. Because if our little black boys can read before the fourth grade, which is only 8 or 9 years old, if they can read on level to above level, we eliminate welfare, we eliminate them going on welfare, and we eliminate them out of prison.
Mm.
Proven facts, stats. And all we got to do is get these boys to read. So findingmefoundation.org, findingmefoundation.org, and support. Right now we're about to put in some book houses where you can leave a book, take a book at some of the smaller schools, around in Columbia because everybody can't get to the library. So now they'll be able to take a book and leave a book. And then of course we did stuff the backpacks. So we're gonna do that again for next year because I think everybody has to go back to school. So that'll be the only thing I need to promote. Of course, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a teacher. Anytime anybody look for me, just go to @Coach McCants, and I'm on something.
Love it, brother. Thank you so much, man. Such an honor and blessing. Thank you so much. And we got to definitely do this again. Let's do this again right before college football starts, so we can see how Dell State. You know, are you guys going to take the MEAC this year or what? We don't know. We don't
Oh
know.
yeah, no, Dell State coming up. Coach Rod got him. So like I said, nobody boosted Coach Milstead. Coach Milstead got some rings. You know what I mean? Like he was on some championship teams. He has some championship coaches. Coach Milstead, but once again, he needs some dogs, man. He needs some horses in the stable. You know
No
what I'm saying?
doubt.
He gets some horses. He gets some O line, D linemen. I think he can make some things happen.
No doubt. All
Matter of
right,
fact, I
brother.
think he might have been up for Coach of the Year too.
No doubt. We'll definitely be taking a look at Dell State and the rest of the MEAC and HBCUs. Thank you so much, brother. You have a great night, all right?
Take it easy.